Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's lecture we will focus on overloading of insertion and extraction operator in C++. So where do we use actually these insertion and extraction operator? If you remember in C in and C out, so what are these insertion and extraction operators? So extraction operator is when we use cin, this is called extraction operator, and we use cout, this operator is called insertion operator. Okay, so let's discuss this example. So it is main. We have declared a as an integer type. Cin, it means it will ask from the user what is the value of a, and it will print these cin and cout. The cin is also an object and cout is also an object. You can easily find out it is IOStream class. It is object of IOStream, and this is also a OStream. Okay, and they both classes can be found in this header file IOStream.h class. We usually include this header file in our program by using this include IOStream. Okay, we don't need to explicitly add .h extension. uh, okay, so the thing is, this is an object, this is also an object, and this is, as we have discussed, it is a primary data type but predefined object. It means it is also a binary operator, cin and cout. Not these are actually the object, but these operators, this extraction operator, this one, and this insertion operator, they both are binary because they are both operands are object type, but in this case they both are predefined. Okay, here it is predefined inside IOStream class, and this a here is an integer type data which is predefined. You can choose the value but not the range. Okay, it means if you want to pass a object, means user defined object like this, like if you want to pass like that cout object, then how it would behave? It will say, I know, the compiler would say, I know the meaning of that, I know the meaning of that, how to execute it, but I don't know what is that, because this is user defined. Okay, so in case of user defined, we have to overload it like we have done in the last lecture. We have overloaded our waiter operator. Okay, in that case, this one would be the insertion operator, and this is the extraction operator. So what I'll do, I'll write this simple program. But in last lecture, we have also discussed this simple thing that if you compare two objects, okay, these are user defined object. So you need to give the logic for this operator. It means you have to overload it. So again, the same logic for if it is a predefined object, okay, it is a predefined integer type object, okay, then the compiler can understand it. You can easily find cin in IStream, and cout is of OStream class. Okay, so compiler will usually so the compiler would automatically understand what to do with that. If I execute it, it will ask me the a, and then it will print the a. But what if it is an object? Okay, let's say distant is the class and b1 is the object of that. So what I'm passing for scene, I'm passing that object. So scene is actually taking some value from the user and assigning to it, but it is an object. The compiler would say if it is an object, you must overload it, and if it is also an user defined object, then you should provide a user defined definition of this insertion operator as well. So in both case, in for both the operators, we have to provide a overloaded definition of these operators. So let me create distance class. In that, I'll take some variables, few variables, and when I'm calling the scene, I'll set those variables like we have done with the in the previous lecture. And during this cout call, we will print that data what we have taken from the user using scene. Okay, so let me create distance class. So distance class is this. In that we have feet is a private variable, and another one is the inches. Okay, in public area, we have defined a friend function. If you are not aware why we have used a friend function in operator overloading, please watch my previous lecture. Okay, so this is the way to overload a function. Oh, sorry, this is the way to overload a operator. So in that, what I'm saying, So this is the way to overload an operator, or use operator keyword and that operator. Okay. In this case, uh, scene is the predefined object. Still, it is a predefined object, and this is user defined object. It means this is a binary operator, but the first uh, argument would be predefined and the second is the user defined. Same for the cout. Okay, so I'm focusing on this first of all. Scene. Okay, because first I need to take the values from the user. Okay, so the first is iStream, because scene is inside iStream and I'm creating the name of it input. You can choose it scene as well. The second of argument would be distance, and again I'm passing the reference of that. So in that, what I'm so you can easily understand if I replace it with scene. I think it is easy for you to understand. But why I'm not doing, because I am overriding it, because that scene being passed here, okay, and the distance data would be passed here. Then I'm taking d, the feed value from the user, and the d inch value from the user. Okay, again I'll overload the insertion operator. Same, the logic would be almost same. Let me show you the logic. So another function, another friend function operator, this insertion operator. Then here I need to pass cout. So the first argument would be cout, right? And the second would be distance type. So I receive as a reference over here. Okay. Now, what I'm doing, I'm printing. This output is actually the cout. That is what I have passed, right? Feet, and d feet is I have already set by using this scene. Okay, I have overloaded the scene. Sorry, I have overloaded this extraction operator actually. So the value are already set, and this function is actually printing those values. So here, what I have done, pay little attention on that. If this is a predefined data type like integer, float, or something like that, string, then the compiler would not go anywhere. The compiler would know the logic automatically what to do with that. But in case of user defined, we have to overload the this and this operator. That is what we have done over here. Okay, so if I execute it, let me remove this, because I have taken it as a reference code only. So let me customize it. Let me execute it. Let me save it and execute it. It should ask me for d1. Cn is the d1 and d1 is, it would ask me feet and inches. So, and then it will, okay, let me 12 and 13. So the 12 would become, I think, feet, and 13 would be inches. Okay, so this is the output. So this is how we overload our insertion and extraction operator. The main important thing is why we have overloaded them. What was the need? So when you can relate it with the user defined object, whenever you pass a user defined object with insertion and extraction operator, you have to provide a overloaded definition of those operators. That is the main. If you are clear with that, then we are clear with this lecture. Okay, so thank you so much guys for today's lecture. Have a nice day.